years ago? That's the question, right? Special education, special education, I get this question all the time. It's grossly underfunded because of the federal mandates. I wish I had a quick solution. Medicaid. Medicaid, 74 million Americans are on Medicaid right now, 74 million.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think it should be the question. What is that, 25%, it's not quite 25% of Americans. Should 25% of Americans be getting free health care? So I think this is what I hear though, is that I hear that health care costs are way too high. So I hear that. So what I hear is, so when try to give you an example. In this emergency room today, if 10 patients go in there, the 3 or 4 people with private pay insurance are basically paying the tote for everybody that goes in there, and that's one of the reasons that private insurance is so low. There are people that need the Medicaid, and let's protect it and save it for those that need it the most. But again, Medicaid has went up 50% in the last 5 years. We're going to soon be spending more on Medicaid than Medicare. We're approaching $1 trillion a year on Medicaid. I'm telling you, folks, that's unsustainable. And again,
you can't take care of your people, but you take care of the billionaires.
So half of our children are on Medicaid.
Yes.
And I think that's the first ones we should protect. We should protect widows, seniors.
So they should
children,
get jobs.
Absolutely. Those are the ones that we should protect the most. But I think there's just a lot of people out there that we should help get an education and help them to get a job and get off of Medicaid.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Some folks asked me about making America healthy again and what that looks like. It's really interesting. 60% of Americans have a chronic disease. 60% of Americans have a chronic disease. 20% of our children are on a prescription drug. 40% of our children are pre-diabetic. America has a chronic disease problem. And we can keep making new medicines. We can put everybody on Ozempic. But at the end of the day, we're still going to have lower ages when people are getting Alzheimer's and cancers and the litany of things because America is not healthy. This is something I've been trying to work with for 40 years as an obstetrician, having a diabetic clinic, seeing my diabetic clinic going from 2 patients a week to 12 patients a week in my years of practice. It's quite a challenge, and I saw women make the lifestyle changes they needed when they had a baby inside of them, but it's really hard to change lifestyles. So the big challenge with Make America Healthy again is the re-education and the reprioritizing. 70% of the calories we eat are from packaged foods. 70% of the calories we eat are from packaged foods, ultra processed. If you would, so do you want to have your own town hall? You can go outside and do it. You've interrupted me about 12 times. You've interrupted me about 12 times. I'm not being rude. I'm just asking you.
She's being
Tell us about measles.
Okay, let me finish this, but I'm happy to talk about measles as well. But if you want to drive the healthcare costs down, if you want to save Medicare, if you want to make Medicaid that's more feasible, not increasing it by 50%, we do need to make America healthy again. And I don't know why anyone is against that. I really don't.
Why did you let RFK go through?
Exactly. He's going to decimate the healthcare system.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of Make America Healthy Again. I'm going to keep fighting for it. It's going to be a challenge, and there's no promises. But if you want me to save Medicare, Medicaid, bring the cost of your health insurance down, then we do need to make America healthy again. Measles, goodness, 155 people with it recently is what I saw was the number one young child died. Okay, and I spoke to the Biden administration about this 4 years ago.
Get off of that.
So you all have your facts, but I'm just encouraging you to maybe listen to my facts for a second. just sort of giving you the facts as I see them, as your United States Senator, as a physician dedicated to the health of Kansans as well.
As our civil servant, you work for us.
So what I saw, I was elected by the people of Kansas by an overwhelming majority.
But you represent us all.
I do my best.
Your
I
money
do
comes
my
from
best.
You
Florida.
represent us all.
I do my best.
Whether you do your best or not, you represent every single one of us here.
That's right.
Of course I do.
Please
We want to
do.
convey that to you.
I appreciate that. How many people have been willing to come up and do this, right? Think about that for a second.
I applaud
We will
you.
welcome you
I
to
welcome
Wichita. You wanna come to Wichita?
We love you, Population Center.
Thank you.
Come
So
to
measles.
Hayes.
So back to measles. What I saw when I went to one of my 3 visits to the border was I visited one of the clinics there. It was full of people with communicable diseases. I said then we'll have a tuberculosis outbreak. I'm much more worried about the tuberculosis outbreak in Overland Park and Johnson County, Wyandotte County, probably mostly in Wyandotte County right now. Then the measles. I encourage everybody to get their vaccines because the herd immunity is not going to work when there's 20 million illegal aliens in our country.
Stop, don't blame it on them.
Wow.
It's the Mennonites and the US citizens that are doing
Sir,
it.
are you aware that many countries require vaccines and
Will
they
you
don't
be
actually hunt
quiet?
you down if you're not gotten the vaccine after birth? So
Okay.
probably those aren't the problem.
So there's a question about tax cuts and who benefits. Okay, so 2017-18, the Trump tax cuts happened. It saved Americans $1,000 a month. Saved Kansans $1,000 a month. Okay, so that is a fact you cannot dispute. So certainly those tax cuts, saving Kansans $1,000 a month, was very helpful. That was on average. So that was on average. Okay. So if those, this is one of the rudest audiences I've ever had.
Thank you. Thank you.
They're not from Oakley. That's what I thought.
Oh, I am. Oh, sir, I am. Yes, sir. Raise your hand, represent.
May I speak for just a minute? I'm gonna piss everybody off in this room, but that's my job. First of all, I wanna thank you for coming out here. It takes a lot of guts. And thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And to do your job, I would not want it. I wouldn't, and I don't think anybody else in this room would want it.
I want it.
I disagree with very much of what you've said. But I'm a dying breed. I'm a conservative Democrat.
Amen.
Woohoo!
Don't find very many of us left. But there is very, very much, the things that they're wanting to do, cut the fraud and waste in government. I believe that those are very laudable things to do, and I fully support that. But I think that the way that we are going about it is so wrong, because there are unintended consequences. We don't know what we don't know. So I would beg of you, as an American, you talk about being, I think a fifth generation farmer. My family came to the United States back in the 1600s. We were told that we were, growing up, told that we came over as a landed gentry. We came to find out we were really indentured servants. We worked our way from the bottom up, and we have fought in every war that the United States has had since before there was a country. I support the veterans. But what you're doing right now, what the government is doing right now, as far as cutting out those jobs, a huge percentage of those people, and I know you care about the veterans, are veterans. And that is a damn shame. That is a damn shame.
Here, here.
Well, consulted to, one of my elders, and I appreciate his comments. I think it's a great, I'm not gonna, we don't have time for everyone to stand up. I do got 2 more commitments today. Appreciate everybody making the drive out, and God bless America. Thank you.